This video is going to be demonstrating replacing piano bridle straps. Um, uh, Usually on old uprights and pianos that have been around a long time, the bridle straps wear out and they break. And they need replaced because the crucial function that they have is when the action is removed from the piano, it holds the whipping up in place so that when you go to put the action back in, you don't break parts, because that can happen if the bridle strap is broken. There's some different options for replacing bridle straps. They have the standard style, the clip-on bridle strap style, and then also the Cork style. I'm going to demonstrate all three types. The bridle strap is this strap right here that hooks onto this wire down next to the back check wire, and it goes up and catches. It hooks onto the shank for the hammer butt, the catcher shank. So what I've got here, this is a hammer assembly that we've taken out of a piano. I've cut the old bridle strap off, which was originally, and this is the case with most pianos, originally they were glued right into the hole with the catcher shank. Okay, so I cut that off flush with the wood of the shank there. Now, when the first type that I'm going to demonstrate is the standard style, which has to be glued on. Okay, it's a strap here. There's the leather at the end with a hole that hooks onto the wire, and then at the other end you can see it's just a strap with no cork or a clip on the other end. Now what you want to do is you want to cut this so that it matches the length of the old strap. So if you kept one of the old straps and cut it off flush with the with where it went into the hole for the into the catcher. What I've done here is I've made a little jig to measure so I can make all my new straps cut to the same length. I've put in I actually pounded a center pin into the end of this block of wood, and you can use, you don't have to use a center pin, you can use a really thin headless nail. But what I'll do is this is the old bridle strap. Now this one's shorter because this was actually a Cork bridle strap I cut off, but it's going to demonstrate the same purposes. So the originals, if they were originally, they would have been much longer. But what you'll do is you'll hook the old bridle strap onto that, and then make a mark right at the end where that cuts off. Okay, and that's where you're gonna cut off your new bridle straps to match that. Okay, so once you've made your mark on the wood, then you can take your new bridle strap, okay, and wherever that mark was, you can cut off the new bridle strap to match the length, so that the length of the new bridle strap is correct. Okay, so now once you cut the length, you probably want to do one just to make sure that it's good before you go cutting all your bridle straps, in case there's an error. But once you got it cut, then what you'll do is you'll take your hammer assembly. Now this one has a hole in it that works for Corks. Not all of them have a hole. Okay, but if it does have a hole, you would run the strap through the hole, and then you would glue it right at the point of where the old bridle strap got cut off. So right where the catcher enters the hammer butt. Okay, and so you can use wood glue, you can use hot hide glue. There's those are the two main glues that you would put a little dab of glue there, and then push it. You can use like a screwdriver or other type of thing to kind of push it into place, to set it, and then let it dry before you do anything with it. Okay, so that's the standard style bridle straps. The next style is the Cork bridle strap. Now again, if your catchers don't have this hole in it, then the cork bridle straps aren't something that you'll be able to use. The cork bridle straps are really easy to install. They come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Medium is by far the most common. This is a medium cork, and it works. So you want to measure your hole just to see which size cork you're going to need. Okay, but basically all you'll do, and you can put a little dab of glue in there if you want. The chances of it popping out aren't that great, but if you want, you can put a little dab of glue. But basically, you're just going to push the cork into the hole like that, and it's tight then. So those are quite easy to install. So you go through, and then the other style are the clip-on bridle straps. That's what these are, and what you would do is, again, if you have the hole, you would run the strap through the hole, and then basically the little clippy part clips onto the catcher shank. Okay, and once that's clipped on, quite easy. There's a tool you can purchase that we sell also in our online store, along with the bridle straps, that hook onto this clip and push it on. Which, when the hammer butt's in the piano, makes it a little bit easier to get the clip onto the shank. Okay, but once you've got that, and then you can adjust the length by pushing this clip either further up toward the hammer butt or further away from the hammer butt toward the catcher shank. Okay, and that adjusts how long or short the end of this is. Okay, and basically you can do fine adjustments with adjusting the bridle wire. Okay, but here I've installed a clip-on bridle strap. Okay, and basically you want, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but between the top of the jack and the bottom of the hammer butt, when the action is out of the piano, you want there to be about between 1/4 inch and 3/8 of an inch as a general rule to go by. Okay, so when that whipping is at rest, that's the amount that you want. It's about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch between the jack top and the bottom of the hammer butt. Okay, so you're going to have some play in there like this. Okay, and again, you can move if I move the clip further back, that gives me a lot more play. But now if I move this clip all the way up, you can see then there's no extra wiggle room there. So you want to kind of put it in a place that you've got, again, between 1/4 inch and 3/8 of an inch between the top of the jack and the bottom of the hammer butt. So you've got some rooms. Now you don't want it so far down so that it doesn't sit underneath the hammer butt, because then it's defeating the purpose. Okay, and then your final adjustment is moving this bridle wire forward and backwards once you get everything in place. So that's how you go about installing new bridle straps. Again, these are available on our website, howardpianoindustries.com, and please let us know if you have any questions.